Good evening, Arts and Cultural Commission. This is Manny, your friendly IT support, letting you know that I will be managing this meeting remotely from the Vallejo room. Thank you.
Okay, the time is now 6 o'clock, May 29th, 2025, and I'm going to call this meeting to order. Let's start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call.
Yes. Chair Hernandez,
Here.
Commissioner Allen,
Here.
Commissioner Vidor,
Here.
Commissioner Quismorio, not here, Commissioner Miller, not here, Commissioner Wise,
Here.
and our newly appointed Commissioner Thorson. Welcome, and at this time, we'll have our council liaison do the oath of office for Commissioner Thorson, and reappointee never goes away, Commissioner Vidor. Yes, and so if you will go there. Here. Will you both go down to, or you can do one at a time. Commissioner Thorson, you want to go first?
Okay, great. This is my second time doing this, so I'm just as nervous as you are, for the record. Okay, so you're gonna lift your right hand and then repeat after me. I, state your name,
I, Chris Thorson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
and that I will bear true
to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California,
to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of California,
and that I take this obligation freely
and that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Make sure to sign. Just put your name here and sign here. You're a pro, so. Okay, okay, all good. Thank you so much. Please take your seat, and congratulations again. All right. Raise your right hand, and then get close to the mic.
Okey doke.
You want to hear from me. I
I, Dahlia Vidor,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and that I take this obligation freely
and that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Write your name here and sign it. Thank you for your
Thank you.
service.
And at this time, Commissioner Thorson, if you would just give us a brief background about yourself and your interest in joining this commission.
Oh, I see. Thank you. I'm an artist and an art educator, and have been, showing my work professionally and teaching students for, my career over 15 years. And have become particularly interested in how the arts can positively impact mental health and be preventative and can be a preventative and joyful, salve, we'll say, in communities. So I'm particularly interested in joining this commission, supporting art and artists.
Well, thank you. And commissioners, if you want to take just 1 minute to introduce yourselves, starting with the chair.
I'm Andrea Hernandez. This is my second term on the commission. I am part of the culture aspect with the culture and arts. I also like to support local artists. I love to see things popping up within our community that I can contribute to. But yeah, that's what I like to bring to the table. Next, Mr. Weiss.
Hi, my name's Dan Weiss, Commissioner. I work in publishing, and I'm very interested in books and literature is sort of my main career connection to art. But I also play music and love visual art and love Vallejo as a town where artists can still somewhat afford to live, which is rare and rare in the Bay Area. Yeah.
Commissioner Allen.
Hi, Trevor. I know we're all supposed to go by Commissioner Allen or whatever last name, but I'm just Trev. Although I am the executive director for the Vallejo Naval and Historical Museum, I have that hat off, except when I'm talking about events upcoming. I do support the arts as much as I can. I'm also a playwright, or have been in the past, so I am often looking for artists that I can support, and I love the fact that this commission exists specifically to support cultural institutions and individual artists.
Commissioner Vidor.
Thank you. I'm Commissioner Dahlia Vidor, and I have been on this commission since its inception. And I was also on the ad hoc committee to establish this for the General Plan 2040. I also produce the Vallejo Shakespeare in the Park here in town, and I work for the city of Vallejo.
Okay, we have a few other commissioners that just aren't here, so you'll see them as we go along. Okay? Moving on. Next item is our communications.
Yes, through the chair, I would like to mention that the California Arts Council announces its launch of 2025 Cultural Districts Grant Program. The handout is on your desk. As you may recall, our council liaison, Council Member Matias, has been talking with our assembly person to find out when this would open, and he's been instrumental in moving this forward, so I'd like to thank you for your efforts. As well as I'd like to once again welcome Commissioner Thorson, and again, Commissioner Vidor. She's very instrumental in what we do, so it would have been a shame to lose her, but she would have been in the audience anyway, so she would have been here. That's right. Thank you.
Okay, anything from our council, city council liaison?
So I guess I'm doing my update now. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Chair. So I'll start with the California Cultural District Grant Program. This was one of the first things I talked to the commission about when I was appointed, that I was pushing to get done, and I just want to thank Senator Cabaldon and his team for advocating on the city's behalf, and having those necessary conversations with the California Arts Council to really open up this process. And as a reminder, getting into this program comes with a $10,000 grant that is dispersed over a 2-year period. You get official state certification, technical assistant, and access to joint marketing and branding resources. And so, I mean, we could spend a few hours just talking about all of the benefits that would really provide to the city of Vallejo, and also more specifically to this commission. So I look forward to engaging you guys in conversation and in doing the work to get this application across the finish line by August 7th, which is the deadline. Last thing to note on that is if we are given that designation, it would run from January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2030. So it is something I'm assuming we'd have to go up for renewal over a 4-year period. But not only would it just do just a lot of good on the arts and our cultural efforts, just from a tourism and a marketing standpoint for our city, it would be huge. And so we're going to make sure we bring personnel from the California Arts Council to our city to not just do presentations on how this partnership has worked out in other cities, but to also hopefully give us some feedback on our application before we submit it. So that's going to be the next step there. And again, I look forward to that partnership with you guys. And then more broadly at the council level, we are, again, really moving forward on the things that we said we're going to prioritize. And number one, that's public safety. Right now, the city and the county are in negotiations around our sheriff's contract. We have an end of June deadline to meet that timeline. And we are similarly working on signing the operating agreements for 2 projects to support the unhoused. One is the 125-bed shelter project that's called the Navigation Center. We hope to have the operating agreement for that project next Tuesday for approval at the council level. And then we also are working on finalizing the operating agreement for the Broadway project, which is a 47-unit permanent supportive housing project on the corner of Minnie Drive and Broadway. I had the opportunity to tour the site this past Friday, and it's a great facility that's going to be providing supportive services to our unhoused residents. So we're going full steam ahead into June with the conversation centering around the budget. We, as you know, have a structural deficit that we're going to have to address. And so that will obviously be a combination of looking for revenue enhancing opportunities and then some cost cutting mechanisms. So I will report back to you guys on how those discussions progress over the next month, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions.
Thank you for that.
Okay, through the chair, regarding the application for the Cultural Districts Grant, we worked on this before. We looked at it. Carmen Slack with the Vallejo Community Arts Foundation had submitted an application. So I will agendize this and invite Carmen to also come and participate with us.
Thank you. Commissioner Vidor, did you have?
Thank you, through the chair. Councilmember Matias, can I ask about the Measure P funding and if there's any opportunity to go for some of that?
Yes.
It's in the packet.
It's in the packet?
It's in the packet. So,
You want to talk about it, or?
no, it's in the packet as an agenda item. So you can say it's in the packet.
Okay, it's in the packet, and I guess we'll talk about it later today. Is that right?
Right. The Measure P secretary reached out to me regarding meetings in June and July, and she sent me a copy of the form that needs to be filled out. So it is included in your packet, and it's going to be discussed under long-term funding.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
No question, but I just wanted to say thank you, council member. The fact that you're here and you're doing a good job and fighting the good fight means a lot. This is no criticism of your predecessors. Everyone has best of intentions, and the fact that the arts are even on the table to get funding and support, and that culture is important to you, means a lot to us. So thanks for being here.
I agree. Okay, any presentations and commendations today?
None.
Community forum?
Yes, we do have guests
Hi.
representing.
Thank you. We do have one speaker,
Thank you, Manny.
Andrea Knowles.
Yes.
Good evening, commissioners, and you all are not the only ones that feel the pressure today taking the oath. I just want to throw that out there. But yes, to Commissioner Allen's comment, thank you, City Councilmember Matias, and also Ms. Annette Taylor. They've been instrumental in the work that we do at Vallejo Main Street. And that's why we're here tonight, myself and our Executive Board President, Ms. Pippin Dew. And so thank you again for the opportunity to speak. My name is Andrea Portillo Knowles. I'm the Executive Director of Vallejo Main Street. And we're here today because we also believe in the transformative power of art, not only to beautify our city, but to build connection, inspire youth, and create opportunities for economic and social impact. We also envision a Vallejo where public art is woven into the daily life of our community, a living, breathing reflection of our culture, our history, and creativity. And that may look different, right? Much like you saw on the steps today, art is also dancing. Art is music. It's on murals, so it looks very different for everybody, but it is a part of our culture. That's why we're here, not just to present ideas, but to invite collaboration with you all. We're asking for your support, your partnership, and your guidance, and your voice as we navigate these new areas of Vallejo Main Street. Whether it's helping to identify artists, supporting community-driven installations, or aligning with citywide cultural goals, we're ready to work hand in hand with you. Together, we can build something that reflects the true heart of Vallejo, and we want to make art a visible, vibrant part of our city's future. And with that, we also have a few words from our president as we enter August summer nights.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, everyone, for giving us the opportunity to speak with you all tonight. I am Pippin Dew, and I'm the president of Vallejo Main Street this year. And we are coming to you tonight with a request. We are seeking artists, performing artists, singers, any type of art, really, and also vendors, food trucks, all of that kind of stuff. So we have an application link on our Instagram page and also on our website, vallejomainstreet.org. And so if you could help share that link and invite people to apply. It's going to be open until June 10th. And on June 10th, we will close it, and then we will make our decisions for the full series of events, which will be the 3rd, 4th, and 5th Fridays in August. And so we will be shutting down Georgia Street from Sonoma to Santa Clara Street, and then a portion of Marin as well. So we're really excited about this 3rd year of our event. And also I wanted to invite you all to attend. We have our board meetings the 3rd Thursday of every month at 5 p.m. at the Redmonds Hall, and it is open to the public. And we do have a couple vacancies on the board, and we will be having more vacancies come January with a nominating committee helping to fill those seats. So if you yourselves are interested, or if you know of anybody that might be interested, we would welcome more attendance and engagement with everyone. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you both.
No other speakers at this time, Chair.
Thank you. Okay, the consent calendar and approval of agendas. Are we approving the agenda? Oh, okay, I see. For the May 29th. Approval of the...
You're approving
Actually,
the...
it's for the March 24th.
No, exactly. Well, you're approving the agenda for tonight, May 29th, and
Okay.
then you have 2 sets of meeting, the March 24th meeting and then the special meeting on April 24th. So they're before you. They weren't included in the packet, but they're before you, and the city attorney Neb said that they could be approved tonight as long as there were extra copies in the back, and they are.
Okay, so I move to approve the agenda.
Second?
It was moved by Chairperson Hernandez and seconded by Commissioner Allen to approve the agenda of May 29th. Roll call. Chair Hernandez,
Yes?
Commissioner Allen,
Yes.
Commissioner Vidor,
Yes.
Commissioner Wise,
Yes.
Commissioner Thorson.
Yes.
The agenda passes 5-0. Now, the approval, yes.
Through the chair, could I, before, I really wanted to say something to the Vallejo Main Street people before they were gone. And now you're walking out. I was trying to request. I just wanted to say thank you guys for coming. I know in some of our planning around long-term funding and things like that, I feel like we've been kind of circling around your organization as a thought. I really appreciate you taking the time to come here tonight. We, hopefully later today, will be passing on to the City Council a long-term funding plan. We have some ideas that we're going to discuss later today, but I just want you all to know, as representatives of Vallejo Main Street, I feel like we have some potential partnership world, and we very much value your input and time, and to potentially work together to further our various goals. Because I think the more that downtown thrives as an arts center, the more all of us benefit and the city of Vallejo benefits. So I just wanted to say thank you before you guys took off. Thank you.
Thank you, and we agree.
I'm going to do one more shout out to City Councilman Matthias. If you got to witness the Alleyway project, that was a vision and a project that was under his leadership as prior president, prior to city councilman, that we got to bring to fruition, and we are still building. So in partnership with a lot of different organizations. So it's going to continue growing, and we were just really excited to see it come to fruition, and thank you again.
Thank you. I know we have lots of questions, but that's not the time right now. But thank you again.
Sorry to jump in.
All good. No, I wanted to say the same thing.
Okay, moving to the approval of the minutes.
Motion to approve?
The March minutes first, right?
Yes, we're going to start off with the March 24th minutes, and then we'll do a second for the approval of the special meeting setting minutes. So for the first round, it'll be for the March 24th.
It's been moved by Commissioner Wise. Is there a second?
Second?
Commissioner Thorson, second.
She can't second. Oh, I can't. She wasn't here.
Oh,
Retract.
Oh, you and your rules.
I'll
Commissioner
second.
Vidor is correct, yes.
Second.
I need the exact mistake on my
Really?
first, yes.
I can second it.
Okay,
I
then
was there.
Then, yeah.
Thank you, Paul.
First by Commissioner Weiss, seconded by Commissioner Allen.
roll
for
call.
March 24th.
Chair Hernandez,
Yes?
Commissioner Allen,
Yes, please.
Commissioner Vidor,
Yes.
Commissioner Wise,
Yes.
and Commissioner Thorson will abstain. Passes 4-0. Now, the special meeting of April 24th. That was your work plan meeting.
Motion to approve?
Second.
It was moved by Commissioner Wise and seconded by Commissioner Vidor for the special meeting minutes of April 24th. Chair Hernandez,
Yes?
Commissioner Allen,
Yes?
Commissioner Vidor,
Yes.
Commissioner Wise.
Yes.
Commissioner Thorson abstains. Passes 4-0. Thank you.
Thank you. Next item is our action calendar. Item A, the long-term funding for the arts.
Through the chair, besides the draft that the ad hoc committees provided in the packet, as I mentioned earlier, that there's also Measure P form that needs to be filled out. It's quite entailed, so it may take some time to discuss that this evening.
Okay, so that's what's the project summary and justification, all of that is the Measure P paperwork?
Correct, and there are 2 dates, one in June or in July, so for their meetings. We'll try and make the June meeting. If not, if you need more time, you can make the July meeting. But I think, well, I know that the better the request is, the proposal is, the better opportunity you have to get funded. So I don't think we want to rush through it. We want to make sure I's are dotted and T's are crossed.
Okay. And then on the public art policy, is it everything that's in red that was changed and that is now added in?
No, the red was previous additions from the original draft.
Okay.
Sorry, through the chair.
Yes.
What would be the July date for the Measure P? Do you know?
I'd have to look. I don't have it in front of me.
Okay.
Through the chair, I'm sorry.
Yes.
If I'm not completely familiar with the Measure P process. For our long-term funding plan, does this document have to go through Measure P, or is it for additional budget
No,
items?
something separate.
Okay.
No, since this commission is looking at all avenues of funding for long-term funding for the arts, Measure P is a mechanism. The request came late to add it to the agenda, so instead of having it as a separate item, I put it under the long-term funding for the arts.
Thank you, so we can still discuss it with, together. Commissioner Vidor?
Through the chair. Thank you. I think this is appropriate because the funding for the arts would include getting money from a Measure P or similar sort of ordinance or bond measure. So I think that they sort of go together. I see the public art funding policy as the overriding bill that we are looking to complete and move forward to City Council, and then the Measure P would go directly to the Measure P commission. Thank you.
Yeah.
Through the chair, question regarding what is appropriate for this commission to ask for Measure P funds for. I think that sentence makes sense. For example, in the minutes to the last meeting, we talked about $200,000, the big ask for re-granting. Forget the money for a second. Even if it was just $100 or $1,000, is that something we could ask for, a re-granting, or is Measure P tax money specifically for a project, potholes or whatever it is? Does that make sense?
I understand the question, and I'm going to defer to Councilmember Matias, but I believe the Measure P money has to have a certain type of use, if I recall correctly.
Thank you, Staff Taylor.
For sure. So there are, I believe, 7 priorities that were identified by the previous council of sort of buckets under which expenditures would fall under. And so what I did when we were discussing the Causeway Bridge expenditure was I attached what was sort of a rider to the motion that would refer the 1% of the total cost of that project to Measure P. And the purpose of that funding would be to go to the arts. Now, if you look at the priorities, I would say that it would fall under keeping public spaces safe and clean and preventing blight and dumping. Those would be like the 2 sort of priority areas. Now, more specifically to your question, I think part of what they're going to be looking for in that presentation are specific programs that have either been implemented in the past or that we can provide enough detail on that would make them feel comfortable to advance that recommendation to council. So that's why I think at the last meeting I was asking, this re-granting program, what were some sort of the parameters around it? Because if it's just, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say this, if it's a re-granting operation without any defined purpose, like we're going to do murals or like there's a vibrant storefront program, something that's very specific that they can connect back to the priorities, it's probably not going to get moved forward. But if there is specificity behind it and it falls under those buckets, I think there may be some case that we could make that they would be receptive to. I'm taking this. I told them that I want them to be as tough as they want to be, with not just with this commission, but with me and assessing the referral. And so I think it's, within the purview of the commission to talk about those parameters and then have us move something forward to them.
Thank you.
Okay.
So do you want to perhaps go through your draft policy, since that's almost complete, and then once you decide on that, talk about the Measure P section, portion of it?
Yeah, I think, yeah. I mean, I was just looking it over, and I think it looks good with all of the changes that's been massaged and removed and reworded. I think you guys did an excellent job.
Were there, I know this was discussed through the chair at
Yes.
last month's meeting, so this document, just for the public awareness, is just all of the edits included into this document that was established.
Yes.
So there's nothing new, so just for the public record. Was anything new added?
Yes, we included everything that we discussed
At the
in the
last-
last meeting.
Yeah.
And it's all been included in this, and nothing has changed since then.
Correct. Just for the public's knowledge.
Okay.
Through the chair, there was one very slight addition that came in at the very end from Commissioner Miller, which we kept open-ended, but just the only thing that was not discussed at the last meeting is there is an official point in public-private partnerships, leaving the door open to explore additional opportunities, such as a naming right for a major installation, corporate sponsorship, that kind of thing. It's open-ended, but just we wrote into there that we are committed to exploring additional revenue opportunities in that public partnership. And that is the only thing that did not come up at from our last meeting where we went through this document in
It did.
great depth.
It did after you left. Margaret made a request, and I brought it forward about, she wanted to include private businesses, which we sort of condensed down into what we used. So it was there.
Amazing.
No, but I think he's saying the naming part was not
Oh.
specified at the meeting, but
I thought that just came from Margaret's email the other day, but maybe, did the meeting go on after I left? I did not.
no, you're correct. You're both correct.
Okay.
That it was discussed because I brought up, because she wasn't at the last meeting, that she had mentioned public-private partnership, and Commissioner Vidor spoke on that. And then just with this new draft, she submitted language about naming rights and other things that had not been previously openly discussed.
For clarification, through the chair.
Yes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is on page 2 of that document, subsection C, public-private partnerships, P3, sub 1, 2, and 3. So did that language not make it into the public-private partnership text that we have before us?
It did. It's number 3.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Explore additional revenue options.
Oh, explore, okay, all right, sorry. Special assessment districts, okay.
Commissioner Thorson, did you have a comment? Okay.
Her mic's on.
We don't have to vote on the new language, do we? Since we voted last time for the last draft,
Yeah,
do
that's
we?
why I'm okay with what we have here.
Not meaning to
for-
sway anyone, just point of order. Do we have to vote on it, or are we good?
Can we forward this? Can I make motion to forward this to staff and city council?
Right, I mean, that's why it's on here tonight.
Yeah.
It's, if there's no other comments.
I don't see
it's-
any.
If there's no other comments, then you can make a recommendation that this be forwarded to staff and then to city council for consideration.
Yes, I make recommendation to push this forward to city staff and city council as is.
Second.
Good work, ad hoc.
It has been moved by Chair Hernandez, excuse me, and seconded by Commissioner Vidor that the long-term funding for the arts policy draft be forwarded to city staff, especially city attorney's office, and then city council for consideration. Roll call. Chair Hernandez,
Yes?
Commissioner Allen,
Since this represents the end of 7 years' work, yes, absolutely.
Commissioner Vidor,
Yes, please.
Commissioner Wise,
Yes.
and Commissioner Thorson.
Yes.
Thank you. It passes 5-0. Congratulations. Besides the 7-year lag, the 3-year lag on this commission's part. So, so congratulations on that. You're moving your draft policies forward.
Thank you. Oh, good job, guys. Okay, moving on, our goal-setting work plan.
Wait, we need to talk about Measure P.
Item B, oh, wait. Oh, yeah, there's the second half to the long-term funding action calendar, I guess it would be 8.1.
So
A-1.
So I suggest that you review the form that's included in your packet and discuss those items, perhaps one by one, to give.
Okay. So we're looking at the project summary and justification page.
Yes.
Okay, agenda item title. 1, project urgency and justification. Explain the urgency of the project. Why is it critical now? Are there safety, legal, operational, or strategic reasons driving the timeline? Are we filling this out tonight, here, right now?
I suggest you review it right now, whatever you
Okay.
can fill out. If in fact you want to make the June meeting, and so, July. And so that's what I thought, but I got a little
Okay.
pressure over here. But,
Okay, then
so
let's
review it because,
get it, guys.
right, and so anything that you may want to discuss tonight and then come back, because what caught my attention is urgency. So what project is urgent? So I think this commission has to come up with something, and you're very creative. What can be considered urgent? And then you have to come up, you have to do some research because, the timeline, you can do that, but the financial overview, you have to do the costs of what you're proposing. The contract or RFP, a method, and alternate funding sources identified. You have to come up with those.
Yeah, budgetary alignment.
Right, conditions or restrictions,
Implementation
all of
details.
that. So you want to kind to start discussing some of this evening? Or would you prefer looking at this and coming back in June?
I prefer looking at it and coming back in June unless somebody can tell me an urgent project right now that we can start filling this out on, because,
I would like, through the chair,
yes.
I would like
I
to
looked right at you, I'm sorry, Commissioner
It's okay.
Vidor.
I'd like to propose an ad hoc to discuss this in more depth off of the dais so that we can coalesce what we might want to do for this that would be able to address the urgency and what we can actually do with funding and how we want to utilize that funds.
Well, can we form an ad hoc?
I mean,
to-
you can't, that's not on the agenda
It's
tonight,
not,
but
yeah.
Through the chair, question about that. Rather than forming a new ad hoc, would it be possible, since this is on the agenda as a second motion
Yeah.
through the long-term,
Funding.
again, not to throw this back to committee, but you're already there, and then we could discuss it in brief, and then have them put something together that we could then look at, either at the next meeting, or if we feel, well, again, I'm just hoping that we can move this forward. There is some urgency about funding for culture and the arts. Finding one consensus tonight, I don't know where we're going to
right.
find that.
Well, you have an ad hoc commission with 3 members for this. the question is because, this is my question, is that two of the commissioners have been on two ad hoc committees already. And so they're kind of driving this commission. And so the question is, do you want to open it up with, because what you can do is, without the ad hoc commission, all of you, like Commissioner Thorson is very new appointed, she may have some great ideas to be presented. So why, because for the June, we probably won't make the June meeting, so let's look at July. So if in fact you all come up with ideas, the full commission, an ad hoc committee could be created in August to finalize all of the input that the commissioners bring back to the June meeting. That's the suggestion.
Through the chair, if the Measure P meeting is in July, then coming back in August with all of this would probably not, that would not work.
No, the presentation would be at the July meeting. They gave 2 dates. And so if the commission makes the presentation at the July meeting, those are the dates that they gave. It's not something I'm selecting. So the commission would make the presentation at the July meeting. It has nothing to do with August.
Through the chair, I think that Staff Taylor just misspoke and said August instead of June is where the confusion is
did I
coming
say
here.
August? I
Yeah,
meant June.
I think it's as simple as that.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I'm sleep deprived, I apologize.
Sorry,
So
Annette.
if in fact you come back and, because we don't have a meeting in August, right? So if I said August, forgive me, I apologize. So if this commission comes back in June with all of your ideas, then an ad hoc committee could be formed to collate all of those ideas and make a presentation for the July Measure P committee. That's just a suggestion.
It's a good suggestion.
What-
Thank you.
Do you have the date, the July date, or
It's
you're
like the
gonna send it
14th
to
or
us?
something, I don't
It's
recall.
like middle?
Yeah, it
mid-July?
wasn't, I believe, I don't have it in front of
Yeah,
me.
it's before hours.
Yeah, I will, yeah, so it's, because I think otherwise you may be rushing, but it's up to the commission.
Through the chair.
Yes, Commissioner Vidor.
I think that's a great idea, that we maybe discuss a little bit of what we might want to do here tonight, and then bring it back together in June, when we can get together an ad hoc, if that's appropriate, and then we can have a presentation for the Measure P by July.
Yeah, go ahead. You have.
I just want to add a quick thought since I'm not a part of this ad hoc committee. I think to the extent that you guys can come up with some ideas where there is some intersection with some of the like sort of general priorities that we're trying to accomplish as a city, public safety, economic development, that would be really helpful to get the project not just past Measure P, but also approved by the council. So I would just include that, look at other cities, what programs they put together where there's an intersection of the three, and then see if there's some list you can come up together and discuss as a group. And I will say, part of what I want to do when we go to Measure P is actually talk about not necessarily the project, because I'm going to leave that up to this body and what you think is best, but more so the funding challenges that I've seen the arts community and our cultural groups experience over time and how detrimental that is to a whole host of areas across the city. So I want to sort of paint a broader picture around this, to just talk about the importance of setting a solid foundation for the future as we're implementing some of these other initiatives around public safety, our strategic plan, and some of these other pieces. So that'll be my vantage point, and then you guys can opine on some of the other pieces.
Are we going to be going with the original ad hoc committee that did the long-term funding? Or are we going to start, can we do a new one?
My suggestion was that the commission as a whole look at this form and come up, because other commissioners may want to be
Yeah.
part of, and the ad hoc committee can be selected at the June meeting. It may be the same, or there may be other commissioners who may want to be on it, but I think that, as I said, that Commissioner Wise and Commissioner Vidor has been on the last two subcommittees, one with Commissioner Miller and the other with Commissioner Keith Morio, but really Commissioner Vidor and Commissioner Wise has been the two who've been really working on this. So I don't want to, I know they're eager and willing to do it, but we have other commissioners who need to participate.
Yeah, no, I might be interested in jumping on it.
Right, and
That's
so.
what I was wondering.
No, so it'll be open
But our
up.
timeline would be okay if we were to make that for, during the June meeting?
Correct.
And present it at the July meeting for the Measure P meeting to
Well,
happen in
because
July?
what would happen is, in the way I foresee this, is June, everyone comes back with their ideas.
Okay,
And then if there's any additional research or anything that needs to be done, the ad hoc committee could do that. But hopefully, the commissioners who come up with these ideas have done some research between now and June, the June meeting, and then that would help with the ad hoc committee to whatever other
together.
fine tuning that needs to
Okay.
be done.
okay, I see what you're saying.
And just
Yeah,
to add one additional point, I think what I'm also hearing, or maybe I'm projecting, is a question around like, does the timing impact whether or not this funding gets approved?
Yeah,
So we as a Vallejo City Council have to approve the
Microphone.
for fiscal year 2020.
Through the chair, Council Matthias, your microphone is off.
Okay, sorry about that. So we have
was
to.
that voice?
We have to approve a budget for our city that starts July 1st. Now, the finance department, in one of the sort of spreadsheets that I saw for Measure P, actually already made an allocation for that expenditure, sort of assuming, quote unquote, that it was going to go through. Now, it's still up to Measure P, it's still up to the Vallejo City Council to approve those line items, but they are accounted for in next year's budget. I just want you to be aware. So it's not like they don't know it may be coming, they're already building it into the budget. Yeah. Or if the council says no, right, like it'll come off, but it's already built in as if it was going forward. Yeah.
The only thing that's missing is the project.
I know. Okay.
Through the chair.
Commissioner Wise.
Not to put the cart too far ahead of the horse, and I certainly am not saying I have to be on the ad hoc, but I was wondering, Councilman Mateas, would you be available to meet with the ad hoc upon being, I feel like everything I'm hearing tonight, that it would be an invaluable resource when the ad hoc meets, if you would be able to be some part of those conversations offside of the dais. And I just would sort of like to set that as an expectation now, or to know for sure it will not be.
If our boss, Ms. Taylor, tells me I can be there, then I will be there. It's up to her. No, I'm serious. I'm not trying to be funny here. I really mean it. If you think I can be there, I will be there. If I can, then I can. I don't know all the ins and outs, so.
As you may recall, you were invited to the last ad hoc committee meeting with the city attorney, so. and you were not able to attend. That's when it was a Zoom meeting, so.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I was double booked during that time. Okay, so she says yes, so I will be there. That's a yes.
And he's there for advisory, so to speak, you know. And again, and Commissioner, Commissioner, Councilmember T is having been a commissioner, knows the roles of the commission, and that basically our commissions are basically commissioner-led. I don't lead it, our council liaison doesn't lead it. The commissioners do the work. We're here to advise and to assist.
Okay, so regarding this Measure P form, everybody should be thinking about what to bring to our next meeting next month regarding this, so we can all do our input, and at that point, we will have an ad hoc committee formulate off of the brainstorm that we have at the next meeting.
And I suggest that you look up the Measure P and the uses that Councilmember Matias had quoted. And so when you're, because I think it's listed on their website, because there's a web Measure P committee, and I think it may be what funds may be. And if it's not, I can forward to the full commission. But keep that in mind, that when you're thinking of a project, it has to fit into one of those categories. This is not one that we have a brilliant idea and go off. It's very specific.
Okay.
You can be created within the box. And I'm looking at Commissioner Vidor.
Through the chair, I have written many grants where you massage the language to fit into the box.
Okay, we're gonna move on to item B, goal setting work plan. We're reviewing the items discussed at the goal setting to create the budget for each line item.
Yes, through the chair, at the special meeting, there were certain categories that commissioners volunteered to do research for costs, for projects, for printing, and I don't know if the commissioners have had the opportunity to do that, but that's what this meeting's about, so you can have a budget. As Councilmember Mattia said, that the councils voted on their budget in June. We will not make that meeting. You're not ready with your
Our work plan is not
goal
set.
setting, but we can reach out at midterm. So that gives us a little bit more time. But I suggest the sooner you get this done, we can get on a council agenda and then request the funds at midterm.
When is the midterm meeting?
Usually December, January, I believe. Because it's June is when the budget is in midterms. I believe June, July. July, December, January. I need some sleep.
And will I be presenting the work plan, or are we going to be sending it?
It will be whomever this commission designate. I will have on the next month's agenda election of officers, because it's time. I think it might be a little over time, so it'll be election of officers for our chair and vice chair. But it can be decided. It doesn't necessarily have to be the chair, vice chair. That was the practice in the past.
Okay.
Again, we'll do a PowerPoint presentation. And if you have an opportunity, look at the EDC, Economic Development Commission. They did a very good job presenting their work plan last year.
Yes, and they just finished their work plan for next year, and it's going to be coming before council next week. So you guys can tune in. I don't know if it's a 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock start time for the special meeting. I think maybe 6.
I'm not certain.
Yeah, but it's in there. There'll be a presentation, I believe, from them, and they're requesting $20,000 for next year to carry out their work plan. And then they're moving over some funds that have not been spent yet from the last work plan. So, yeah.
Okay.
Through the chair,
Commissioner Vidor?
I did actually bring a couple quotes.
Okay. Then, let's see. We needed some quotes for money for brochures, money for stamps, for like a official receipt book. Those were some of the notes that I had down. What are the quotes that you have, and what item, line is it regarding?
So through the chair, I have a quote for printing, for brochures, for double-sided color brochures from Minuteman Press is about $40 for 50. And stamps run between $55 and $100, depending on what kind of stamp you're going to get. If you're going to get it off of, you can get them for like $20, but it depends on if you're going to like have the adjustable kind. If we need to put like a date, if we need to have the change date, those sorts of things, and those are, you know, just off of Amazon kind of thing. Not necessarily a city logo, but you can get anything you want on them. And then also, seminars run between $150 and $200 per person, depending on what kind of seminar it is. Some of the seminars are free. You know, it really depends on what kind of seminar. Is it going to be a seminar where you're going to be trained in something? If there's training involved, those usually cost money. If there are, you know, free seminars that you can attend, that anybody can attend, you don't have to be a government official, and you can just go. And those are, you know, through like the California Arts Council and what's the other organization? There's another arts organization that provides a sort of those sorts of seminars. And then several years ago, another commissioner, Commissioner Swonday, and Annette, Steph Taylor and I went to a seminar at the Yerba Buena Gardens, and I don't know what the budget was for that one.
It was,
Yerba Buena Center for the Arts.
it was Economic Development Department paid for that. But to your point, when you're looking at seminars, when you make the presentation, we will have to identify what seminars you would like to go to. It's not just like a general overall. You have to, I would suggest you be as specific as you can to say the Yerba Buena seminar meets in whenever month it meets and it costs X amount of dollars. So that's what they're looking for, specificity.
Okay.
And I know that Commissioner Wise, you were in the minutes, you said, did you also get quotes for printing?
Yes, you were going to be up next after she was done.
Right.
I did. I went slightly larger, thinking about the scope of the project, and priced it out for 1,000 brochures with the idea that we'd send it all over, send it to new residents as a thing. Essentially, it's about 85 cents per pamphlet for a full color pamphlet. My ballpark total number I came up with was about $1,175 for the printing of 1,000 brochures, plus labor costs, plus a stamp, which I found rubber stamps for $10 when I was looking it up. I don't know if I was looking at the wrong stamps, or we just Google thought I had less money than you, and so the algorithm presented me. But general ballpark. But the bigger thing, I think, is we can go through PS Print is a good printer. They do quick, fast work, and about 85 cents per brochure, which you can scale up or down. And then if we want to hire a professional designer, I think it would be not a super time intensive project, but that's the difference in cost there.
If I may, through the chair.
Yes.
If you could send me in writing your quotes so I can include it in the minutes for the next meeting. I was hoping that something had been written tonight, but that's okay. But if you send me the quotes. Are there any other quotes from anyone else? Commissioner Allen or Chair Hernandez? Do you have any input or ideas about cost, even if it's not a quote?
No, I had a bunch of printing costs as well. The museum uses several printers, so I've got on par. That PS Print is one of the ones that we could use. We also use locally Minuteman Press. So again, you guys have done a lot of events and brochures and printing, so I don't have anything to add.
And regarding tabling, do you have any ideas besides farmers market? What other events you may want to table? So you maybe can come up with those ideas as well. Maybe Waterfront Festival or Juneteenth or any of the festivals along the waterfront, or I would think Vallejo first and then move and see how successful you are there. But if you could also provide that.
I think we should be able to do the Pista Sanayon as well, because Vallejo gives to
Right.
Pista Sanayon to help make that happen.
Right, so if you can send me the
So-
list of festivals as well, I will include that in the minutes.
Through the chair.
Yes.
I was just wondering what, you probably wouldn't know this off the top of your head, but what the average cost of having the booth at the farmer's market is in terms of setup and time and staff.
The cost for farmers market, if it's an informational booth, there's no cost. It's free. I believe you have to bring your own table and chairs, but there's no cost.
Okay. Is there any other input onto the funding numbers for any of those line items?
Through the chair?
Yes.
Just a clarification. I see funding and I see grants on there. The re-granting program, I just want to keep reiterating that. Is that a part of this then for work
That
plan?
request is 200,000, correct?
That is correct.
Right, no, so that will go there. With this form, I didn't put anything down because
Understood, okay.
I needed to come from the commissions.
Got it. I just didn't know if grants meant re-granting program or funding meant funding for the arts or for artists. Just which bucket would that be in?
I believe you would be requesting the $200,000 if that's the same amount you want to continue with.
Yes, ma'am.
From the general fund for re-granting to our local artists and groups.
Nonprofit cultural institutions, yes. Okay, thank you for answering the question.
Okay.
Well, that would be funding. Grants is, grants, grants is reaching out to grants. And
Right.
then funding is the 200,000.
Funding is the re-granting program.
Right.
Yes, got it, thanks.
Okay.
So please do your homework and send that, hopefully this, by next week. I would like to get this done. I don't say this often, but I have a lot on my plate. Not that I always have a lot on my plate, but I never bring this to the commission, but I do have quite a bit on my plate and a lot of timelines, and I'd like to make sure I have the time to pay attention to this. So thank you.
Okay. Moving on. Item C, the Black Lives Matter mural proposal. By motion, we need to make a recommendation on the mural concept to City Council.
Yes, if you recall, at our
Let me see if I have it.
March meeting, Ms. Ascari made a presentation on the Black Lives Matter. She was going to bring back additional information at this meeting. I did reach out to her, I think it was this week, to remind her, and I didn't hear from her, so she may have had a conflict. And I know that Commissioner Allen has reached out to her as well. So we can always continue this over until the June meeting.
Would it be possible just to address the agenda item? In theory, this commission has actually stood by the mural, the last mural, and some of us even participated in painting the mural. I know it wasn't appropriate at the last time we talked about this to make a motion to support it. I'd like to do so if that's possible, or if what you're saying is, since obviously Ms. Escoriso is not here, just to punt to the next meeting. Otherwise, I would definitely like to vote in support of it.
She had additional information she wanted to present.
Great.
So I think we should hear that.
Fantastic.
Okay, so we'll move that on to next month's agenda. Hopefully she'll be able to make it. Item D, relocating the public display board. We need to request staff to follow up with city manager's office and Public Works to find out where they are in the process of the commission's request.
Through the chair.
Yes.
This item, there's the copy of the letter that was sent to then City Manager Malone in the packet. He did reach out to Public Works, asking questions, how much it may cost, so forth and so on. I think that with the change of personnel and other priorities and commitments, this may have gotten lost. And so this is in the packet. Commissioner Vidor brought it up to, once again, I will reach out to the current city manager, and we have a interim public works director. I will forward this request to them to see where they are.
Okay, thank you. It's almost there, this close.
Yes. I just have a quick
Close.
question. Should we resend this letter to the?
Yeah, she's gonna resend it to the interim.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Future agenda items. We still have our inventory storage policy of artwork on our future agenda. We still have our artist registry in our future agenda. I'd like to keep those on there.
And as I mentioned, that we're going to have elections of officers next month.
Okay, so I'm gonna add that in, so I'll look forward to that.
But that's an administrative item.
Oh, I'm looking forward.
So you're running again?
Put a star next to that. Okay. Next up is the information.
Through the chair.
Yes.
I just want to say that we have the inventory.
Full list.
We have a list.
We do have the list.
Yeah, we did that already.
But we needed the policy. We needed
So
to
we need
try to come up with the policy on where it should always be, like.
No, I think that's the gift and loan policy, isn't it?
No, the registry, if I may through the chair, the artist registry, although it had been drafted, there was more discussion regarding that, and so that's why it's been set on a futures list in order to get the other policies move forward. So perhaps in September, you may want to move it up to discuss, since most of your policies will have been, draft policy would have been forwarded on to council, or at least to staff.
Okay. Okay. Next is the information calendar.
No information from staff. We did that early on. I'll have to change that.
Okay.
I'll change that.
I was looking for the old verbiage for information calendar.
Right, yes, it's the,
Yeah.
as Commissioner Vidor know, keep changing the format of this. And so,
This is a whole new format.
yeah, so,
So I'm still adjusting.
you're right, and so information calendar can go off, and
Okay.
and I added our old announcements.
The old announcements, that just makes
So that's
so much more sense.
So that's what it is.
But okay.
Thank you.
Our announcements. I have one. Peace to Sanayon. First Saturday of June, June 7th, starts at 10 o'clock. Free ferry rides from the Vallejo side over. They actually, you can see the ferry schedule on the Peace of Sanayon website. They'll take you over at 9:30 is the first trip over, free trip over, because there's going to be a parade. We're going to have a parade on Mare Island honoring the elders in our community. So I hope you guys come out. It's a huge, huge, huge event. It blows up even bigger and bigger and bigger every year ever since we moved it off of the waterfront and over to the Mare Island side. And it's a beautiful thing to see community come together and celebrate.
For the public that's listening, date and time?
It starts at 10 in the morning on June 7th. It ends at 6. That's when vending stops. At 6. They're excited to do that because they're exhausted at the end of it. But it is a huge, huge day. It's a huge event. I hope Vallejo appreciates it because we bring a lot to Vallejo on that day. And I hope you all get a chance to go out there and have a plate.
Yeah, I go almost every year, and last year, as you said, on Mare Island, and it's very diverse. It's not just Filipino culture or Filipinos attending. It's everyone, and that's one of the great things about Vallejo, the diversity and sharing cultures. And so, it's a great event, and come hungry because there's a lot of food vendors. There's a lot
We
of
have
food
over
vendors.
25 food vendors there. We are we want to have everybody involved. There's going to be different pieces to it where you could bring your kids. There's story time. There's a lot of interactive things happening for kids. We have live art happening. We have music on stage, 3 different stages. It's a great time for all. Free water.
Yeah. Please send me your right. Please
I will
send,
totally send you the information. But yes, please come out if you have some time. You won't regret it. Anybody else?
Yes.
Commissioner Vidor.
I would like to say that the Solano County Fair will be happening June, I think, 12th, 13th, and 14th, and 15th? But it is that weekend. And they have a lot of great events going on, including my good friend Karen Quest, who will be doing her Cowgirl show there. And then on June 21st is the Juneteenth event, and that will be on the waterfront, and that's great. So we have back-to-back events, and then I think there's something else in June, but I can't remember. It slipped my mind. But those are the 2 events that I could think of.
there's the Butterfly Festival.
That's the one. Thank you.
So again, please send me the announcement so I can include in the packet.
Commissioner Allen?
There we go. The Vallejo Naval and Historical Museum will be having our new exhibit for Pride Month, Pride of Transgender posters. And I say that without any fear that we're going to get in trouble with the feds because we do not get any federal funding. So the fact that we do a lot of DEI, woke programming, LGBTQIA plus two-spirit community events. We have several, too many to list here. Go to our website. We will also be doing a flag raising for Juneteenth on the 19th with the African American community. We will also be doing a LGBTQ themed trivia night in June. And that will lead us into the July and August. Louder? Really? Wow, that's very seldom I get told to be louder. All right, we will also be doing in July and August the celebration of the 80th end of World War II. As we all know, it didn't end a while ago like some people thought. Yes, in fact, the West Coast, we will be having a huge exhibit called Victory for Vallejo at the Vallejo Naval Historical Museum. So I'll get you all that information, Staff Taylor, I promise.
Commissioner Weiss?
I also just wanted to throw out also in June, hometown artistic hero La Russell is hosting Vallejo Field Day on June 6th in Setterquist Park. It's a big community event that should be great. Thank you.
Through the chair, one last thing. As part of our exhibit in June, I wanted to note the passing of Adolfo Acala Manuel, right? Taken from us way too soon. We will be showcasing his artwork. We've been working with Dominique. It's fabulous. I will just say that. It is amazing, and it's going to be part of our a large exhibit in the main hall. So please come see that.
Do you have any of his outfits, costumes?
Yes, we have the art that he created. We also have many of his textiles. We've got dress forms just waiting for his fabulous Miss Asia outfits. So yeah, again, I don't want to choke up on camera, but please come check it out. It's a celebration of his art and his beauty and the fabulousness of him as an artist in the community. And I think that's something that we can all support. Cheers.
Yes, again, please, these are great announcements. Please, please, please.
We'll give you the info, I promise.
Okay, you heard, everyone heard. I mean, I've witnessed this, he promised. Okay, if that's. Okay.
So our next scheduled meeting is scheduled for June 23rd, 2025, and I motion to adjourn this meeting.
Meeting adjourned at
7:22.
7:22. Thank you, and again, welcome Commissioner Thorson.